Eden by obsessmuch. Read by SsjDeBusk. I don't own Harry Potter or Eden. Harry Potter is owned and written by J.K. Rowling and the WB, and Eden is written by obsessmuch on fanfiction.net. I may have just peeked. I wanted to know what this chapter was about. I forget all these. I just forgot that this happened, by the way. I forgot that they broke up in the middle. I did not remember this at all. I don't know. I don't know about all this. This is not rememberable to me. I don't know what's happening. It's like I'm reading it for the first time. It's not all exciting. Oh, I do remember when I just read like a random thing. Yeah, I remember the second line of this chapter. Because I was like, ha, it's funny because you are. Okay. Yet come with me and dream, and I may live, and very life again, through the cold of death. Come back to me in my dreams, and I may give pulse for pulse, breath for breath, excuse me. I'm speaking low, lean low. As long ago, my love, how long ago? Christina Rossetti, echo. I lie awake in the dark, alone once again for the 10th night in a row. How do I know exactly the 10th night in a row? Simple. I've been counting. That's how pathetic I am. When he first left me all that time ago, I convinced myself that he'd come back. I didn't go to bed that night because I was certain that he would come back for me at any moment. I waited for a long time. Too long. It was only when Bellatrix came into my room and took me downstairs to do my chores the next day that I realized that the entire night had been and gone. And so the next day I waited for him, and then the next night. And when he didn't come back, but he didn't come back, no matter how hard I wished for it. I'm really beginning to wonder if he will. If he ever will. Excuse me, I keep messing my thing up. And I hate him for it. I hate him for leaving me so alone, for taking away the one thing I have left in my entire existence. His weakness for me became my salvation. It would be the one thing in this place I could feed on for comfort. It gave me back the reason for living. If he could give up everything for me, then that meant that I wasn't the worthless scum he made me believe I was. And I hate him for taking that away from me. But at the same time, I'm a feel-good person. I do nice things all the fucking time. You know what it gets me? Not a goddamn thing. Alright, sorry. Oh my god. Life issues, Bran. Life issues. Alright. Where was I? It's somewhere in this paragraph, and I don't really want to read it again. I'm not going to do it. Okay. And I hate him for taking that away from me. But at the same time, I know that he must be going through the same hell that I am going through. The same unbearable, murderous agony that I feel every hour of every day. And it's all for me. He'd do anything for me. Anything. It's so hard, though. He doesn't even come to see me anymore. It's always someone else who takes me to do my chores or brings me my food. I see him occasionally, though. Neither of us can help it. He'll be in the room sometimes when I'm cleaning, or he'll pass me in the hallway, never looking at me, always refusing to look at me. Cuts into my soul every time. Every night, as I go to bed, I'm so wiped out from longing. I know that I should fall asleep instantly, but I never do. I lie awake, hoping, always hoping. It seems I still haven't learned how to give up hope after all. I can't sleep. I can never sleep. Every night I just lie in my bed, every whisper of wind or creaking floorboard lighting up every nerve in my body. It's never what I pray it might be. He's left me so alone, and all there is now is the cold, empty darkness of my room. Sometimes I feel I force myself to remember that I'm still alive, that it's just pretend, that my heart's still beating and my blood is still warm. I'm not really dead. I just feel it. But I can't take any comfort in that. Perhaps if I wanted to carry on living, I might be able to, but I don't, so I can't. Ow! A sharp I draw in a sharp breath, rubbing my stomach before taking a couple deep, ragged breaths. Pain subsides after a while. I turn sharply and walk very quickly into my bed into my bathroom, shutting the door so that I can see what I think hopefully it might be. But it isn't. Which I suppose I should be thankful for, in a way, because it doesn't mean having to make toilet in a way, because it doesn't mean having to make use of toilet tissue like I've had to do whenever it's come before. There we go. Sorry. I swallow down hard before I smooth my robes down and walk back into my bedroom. Calm down. It's hunger. It's all it is. After all, you haven't eaten anything today. I sit down in front of my dressing table, gripping at it hard, as I look into the mirror in front of me, more to distract myself than anything else. I don't even know what this girl is. Who this girl is. I see that pinched face. It's small, and it's almost yellow. Dead, weary eyes, surrounded by purple circles of fatigue. White, chapped lips, and straggly, knotted hair. God, no wonder he hasn't come back. Who would ever want that? The door creaks open beside me. I stand up and whirl around, my heart leaping into my throat, and I see pale skin and white blonde hair. And it isn't him, it's his son. Hold on. I just don't care anymore about life. It's almost hilarious how, like, comically horrible it is all the time. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, dude. Hold on. Coffee's cold. Another thing on the list. You are making the list, coffee. Do not fucking test me. Alright, where was I? Who'd ever want that? The door creaks open. No, it's not him, it's the son. Fuck. Draco. Malfoy. Break it down. I said I hate Draco in this book, by the way. Not even because he's annoying, just because I don't like doing his voice. Because it's exactly like Lucius's, and it just makes me feel like a horrible, horrible narrator. I sit back heavily down on my chair, letting my breath out in a rush. I know that everything's alright. He can't remember anything about the last time I saw him. I know, because the way he's looking at me, with his usual dislike, but not with absolute pure naked hatred I saw in his face when last I looked at him. He narrows his eyes. What are you gawping at? He snaps. I shake my head. Nothing. He rushes his eyes down over me, sneering. You look bloody awful. He smirks. You should really take better care of yourself. I don't say anything. What would be the point? He raises his eyebrow at me. Nothing to say, my blood. He drawls. Well, that would be a first in 7 years. I hate myself for letting him taunt me, but to tell you the truth, I simply can't be bothered to play these games with him anymore. He's got a wand. I'm never going to win against I'm never going to win. He's got a wand. I'm never going to win against that with words, am I? Well, he goes on. You might be interested to learn that I've brought someone to see you. He steps back from the door, allowing Ron to walk into the room. Guilt grips at my internal organs like an iron vice as he looks at me, not smiling, not frowning, just there, like the Ron I once knew, only all his expression and feeling gone from his eyes. You've been granted an hour's visit, Weasley, Draco says, smiling maliciously. You better make the most of it, eh? Entertain Granger with your scintillating conversation. Why don't you? Ron's eyes twitch, but apart from that, he doesn't react. Draco smirks slightly. Good God, what fascinating company you must keep each other. You must be for each other. He smirks before he strides out of the room. I have to read it fast, or I can't do it. Enjoy yourselves, won't you? Then he parts and a parting shot before he... And his parting shot before he slams the door shut, locking it behind him. And so we are here. And so here we are. I can't read today. And so here we are, alone again, for the first time since that horrible night when everything between us was destroyed. I know why he's been allowed here. Lucius must finally relented? Yes. Lucius must have finally relented. He must have told Draco to allow Ron to visit. He must truly be desperate to push me away if he's letting me and Ron see each other again. Ron just looks at me with what feels like an eternity, while I desperately try to think of what to say. 100 options go through my mind. I pick up each one mentally before discarding it. Each and every one of them. There's nothing I could say to make this situation any better. I clutch at the skirt of my robes. How are you? Is what I eventually settle on. Stupid, stupid, stupid question. What is wrong with me? Fine, he says stently. You? I nod my head once. Fine. A pause, a long, unbearable pause. We haven't seen each other for... I gulp. I've been wondering how you are. Have you? Have you? He says, his voice a little too sharp. His voice a little sharp. For the briefest of seconds, his eyes blaze with fire. I press my lips together. Please, please, please don't hate me. She thinks that. She doesn't say it. He sighs, the flame in his eyes dying down with resignation once more. I wanted to come and see you, he mumbles, sliding his gaze down to look at the floor. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to. I did ask to, a lot, but haven't been allowed. I swallow down a sigh of relief. If he wanted to come and see me, then he can't still hate me, right? I know. He pauses, frowning hard at the ground. I know it's him. It's not letting me see you. There's a queasy kick of shame in my gut. I don't know why he's letting me see you now, he mutters. I'm starting to wonder if I was ever going to see you again. I know what I've got to say. I've got to tell him. He deserves to know. He'd want to know. So why am I finding it so hard just to open my mouth and say the words? I clutch my hands and unclench them. We're not seeing each other anymore. Seeing each other? What kind of description is that? His eyes snap up, blazing once again, blazing with the cruelest of all emotions, hope. You know? He barely breathes the words. I shake my head. It's been over. No. It's been over for... It must be a few weeks now. And for a moment his face is alive, alight. And I start to wonder, at such a beautiful expression, perhaps everything can be alright after all. I could never make Lucius happy. All I ever did was make him hate himself for how he felt about me. But I can make Ron happy, can't I? But his eyes harden again. Got bored of you, did you? I don't think he meant the words to hurt quite so much as they do. He hasn't got enough malice in him for that. And it's not his fault they pierce into my heart like 6-inch nails. It was my decision, I say lightly. I told him I didn't want to carry things on. He just sort of accepted it. I know I shouldn't lie to him. What else could I say? He ended things with me to save my life, but despite his reasoning I begged him not to leave me because death is nothing in comparison to being without him. No, of course I can't say that. He bites his lip, looking very much like he doesn't even dare himself to believe what I'm telling him. But he can't quite help but hope I might be telling the truth. honestly.